Garden success starts here. Direct sow or start indoors. Welcome back to EcoAlchemy, your go-to place for all things DIY gardening. I'm Pete, and today we're tackling a fundamental question for every beginner gardener. Direct sowing versus transplanting. This decision impacts your garden's success, so let's get it right from the start. Before we dig in, give us a like, share this with your gardening buddies, and subscribe for more easy-to-follow tips. Tell us in the comments, what are you hoping to grow this season? Let's get growing together. Direct sowing is simply planting seeds directly into the garden soil where they will grow and mature. Think of it as letting nature do its thing. This method mimics how plants naturally propagate in the wild, making it a simple and effective way to start your garden. The biggest advantage? Strong, happy plants. Direct sowing allows plants to develop robust root systems undisturbed, right where they're meant to thrive. Plus, it's beginner-friendly, saving you the hassle of indoor setups. No need for trays, grow lights, or extra space inside your home. However, direct sowing isn't always a walk in the park. Seeds are exposed to the elements, making them vulnerable to pests, unpredictable weather, and pesky weeds. Soil temperature is also crucial. If it's too cold, germination can be slow or even fail. Certain plants absolutely thrive when directly sown into the garden. These are generally plants that don't like their roots disturbed or that grow quickly. Let's look at some examples. Root crops like carrots, radishes, beets, and turnips are prime candidates for direct sowing. Transplanting can damage their delicate taproots, hindering their growth. Sow them directly for the best results. Cold hardy greens such as spinach, arugula, and mustard greens are also excellent choices. They can tolerate cooler soil temperatures and sprout reliably when sown directly in early spring or fall. Fast-growing crops like peas, beans, and corn prefer to be sown directly where they'll grow. This avoids any transplant shock and allows them to quickly establish themselves. Herbs like dill and cilantro also dislike being moved. Direct sowing ensures they develop strong roots without the stress of transplanting. Transplanting involves starting seeds indoors or in a controlled environment and then moving the seedlings to the garden when conditions are favorable. This method gives you more control over the early stages of plant growth. The main benefit of transplanting is extending your growing season. By starting seeds indoors, you can get a head start, especially in regions with short summers. This allows you to harvest crops earlier and enjoy a longer growing season. Transplanting also protects young seedlings from harsh weather and pests. You have more control over spacing and organization in your garden beds, ensuring each plant has enough room to grow. However, transplanting requires more effort and resources. You'll need seed trays, grow lights, and a hardening-off process to prepare plants for outdoor conditions. Some plants don't transplant well due to their delicate roots or slow recovery time. Certain crops benefit significantly from transplanting, especially those that require a long growing season or are sensitive to early season conditions. Nightshades like tomatoes, peppers, and eggplants take a long time to mature. Starting them indoors gives them a head start, ensuring they reach full productivity before the season ends. Leafy greens like lettuce, kale, and Swiss chard transplant well because they have shallow root systems and recover quickly. This allows you to get an early start on your greens harvest. Brassicas such as cabbage, broccoli, and Brussels sprouts also benefit from an early start indoors. This makes them stronger and more resilient when they're transplanted outside. Slow-growing herbs like basil and parsley grow better when transplanted. They take longer to germinate and develop strong roots, so starting them indoors gives them a competitive edge. Whether you choose direct sowing or transplanting, success depends on several key factors. Understanding these factors will help you make informed decisions and maximize your garden's potential. Soil temperature is critical for germination. Some seeds need warmth to sprout, so direct sowing too early can result in slow or failed germination. Use a soil thermometer to ensure the soil is at the right temperature for the seeds you're planting. Moisture control is essential. Seeds must stay evenly moist until they germinate. If they dry out, they won't sprout. Use a gentle watering can or spray bottle to keep the soil consistently moist. Spacing is easier to manage with transplants. You can place them exactly where they're needed, ensuring they have enough room to grow. Direct sown seeds often require thinning to prevent overcrowding. Timing also plays a role. Some crops grow quickly and can be direct sown later in the season, while slow-growing plants need an indoor head start. Consult a planting calendar to determine the best time to sow or transplant each crop in your region. Sometimes, the best approach is to use both direct sowing and transplanting. This allows you to take advantage of the benefits of each method and create a more diverse and productive garden. For example, you might start a few tomato plants indoors for an early harvest while direct sowing others later in the season to extend your crop. This ensures you have a continuous supply of fresh tomatoes throughout the summer. Another example is direct sowing cold hardy crops early in the spring, then transplanting warm season crops into the same bed later to maximize space. This allows you to make the most of your garden's growing season. By mixing both methods, you can create a continuous harvest and make the most of your garden. Experiment with different techniques to find what works best for you and your garden. Here are some additional DIY gardening tips to help you succeed with direct sowing and transplanting. Soil preparation. Amend your soil with compost or other organic matter to improve its fertility and drainage. This will provide your plants with the nutrients they need to thrive. Seed starting mix. Use a high-quality seed starting mix for transplanting. This will provide the right balance of nutrients and drainage for young seedlings. Watering. Water your plants regularly, especially during dry spells. Use a soaker hose or drip irrigation to deliver water directly to the roots. Weeding. Keep your garden free of weeds, which can compete with your plants for nutrients and water. Mulch can help suppress weeds and retain moisture. Pest control. Monitor your plants for pests and diseases. Use organic pest control methods to protect your plants without harming beneficial insects. Now that we've covered the best methods for starting your plants, we need to make sure our transplants survive the transition from indoors to outdoors. This process is called hardening off. Hardening off is the essential process of gradually acclimating your seedlings to outdoor conditions. This helps them adjust to the sun, wind, and temperature changes, preventing transplant shock. Start by placing your seedlings outdoors in a sheltered location for a few hours each day. Gradually increase the amount of time they spend outdoors over the course of a week or two. Protect your seedlings from direct sunlight and strong winds during the hardening off process. Water them regularly to keep the soil moist. Once your seedlings have been hardened off, they're ready to be transplanted into the garden. Choose a cloudy day or late afternoon to minimize stress on the plants. Choosing between direct sowing and transplanting is a crucial decision for every gardener. By understanding the benefits and drawbacks of each method, you can make informed choices that will lead to a successful and bountiful garden. Remember, gardening is a journey, and every season brings new opportunities to learn and grow. Now it's your turn. Let me know in the comments. Do you prefer direct sowing or transplanting? What are your favorite crops to grow using each method? Share your experiences and tips with the EcoAlchemy community. And if this video helped you on your gardening journey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us create more content to help you grow your best garden yet. See you in the next one, and happy gardening!